Lions are off to their best start since 1956.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Oh, yes, let's do this, everybody, on a Sunday, October 27th, a victory Sunday. Detroit handles their business this afternoon at Ford Field against a measly, lowly Tennessee Titans team. My God, what was that? 52-14 at Ford Field this afternoon. A lot of fun downtown on a beautiful Sunday as the Lions win. Welcome in, everybody. Matt Derry with you, Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. We are here 6 days a week during the season, Monday through Friday, Sunday pod, here with you after another Lions win. Yes, the 6-1 start for the Lions, the best start since 1956. Today, they didn't need the offense at all. Think about this for a second. Jared Goff threw for 85 yards. At halftime, he had like 9 yards passing, and the Lions were up 35-14. I predicted before the game, I said, 28-15 final? That was the score basically at halftime. Lions cruised to a win against a bad Tennessee team, but they handled their business. The run game was there. The defense, with all the guys injured, not bad, did all right, made plays. Special teams was killer today. Shout out to Dave Phipp and Kalif Raymond and even Khalil Dorsey. And now this sets up a showdown for first place in the NFC North next week at Lambeau Field at 425. Green Bay wins today on a walk-off field goal over Jacksonville. Again, the Packers sneak by an opponent, but they're 6-2. They're good. The question is going to be Jared Goff's ankle, because he was gimpy today, and Jordan Love's groin. He didn't even finish the game today. Malik Willis did, and he's been playing well for them. And the Lions and Packers next week are going to be great. But thanks for making us your first listen, checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. We will hand out game balls today. We'll talk about the defense, the special teams. There was a guy today on the field for the Tennessee Titans that was basically auditioning for the Lions. We'll talk about that. But first and foremost, there are a lot of these games. If you watch the 1 o'clock games, and I'm a little bit late in recording because I was glued to the 1 o'clock games. The ending with Indy and Houston was unreal. The Browns-Ravens ending was unreal. The Green Bay ending was unreal. The Jets and New England game was unreal. The 1 o'clock games all were coming down to the wire, and I couldn't get away from my television. But the Lions, they just punish you. The Lions just punish you. Anytime the Tennessee thought they were back in this football game, and look, there were times today the Lions didn't play well. The Lions go up 7-0, and then they allow Mason Rudolph to go right down the field and score 7-7. Next play, Jahmyr Gibbs runs for 70 yards on the first touch. But yet the Titans then get the ball, and with no pass rush, and I'll get into this, Tennessee comes right down the field, makes it 14-all. Now, Lions then never looked back and scored all the points the rest of the way. But still, there are things the Lions can clean up for next week against Green Bay. But what the Lions do, and again, teams that play the Lions the week after are 0-5 for a reason, because the Lions just punish you. Today, the Lions ran for 164 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs over 100 yards again, 11 carries, 127, including the 70-yard touchdown. David Montgomery had 33 yards rushing. They just punish you. And whether it's big hits on defense, whether it's punishing you in the ground game, that's what they do. And they wear you down. Now, again, let me reiterate something. The team they played today, the Tennessee Titans, are terrible. That's one of the worst teams I've ever seen. They're horrible. All right, Calvin Ridley's good. He and Mason Rudolph had a good thing going in that first half where Ridley caught six balls for 118 yards. A lot of that I'm putting on Kirby Joseph. Had a really bad first half, then stepped up in the second half with an interception. And the pass rush was non-existent. It finally got to Rudolph later on, but for the most part, we're talking about an Alex Anzalone blitz that was the one sack, not enough pressures. And again, as we get close to the trade deadline, it'll be a week from this Tuesday, November 5th, the Lions have got to address their pass rush. But with that being said, Anytime today the Tennessee thought they were answering the bell, the Lions came back and punched back. That's what this team is all about. And they had a lot of short fields. The takeaways were great today. Amik Robertson, twice today, punching the football out. They used to call that the Charles Tillman peanut punch, the former Bears cornerback. Amik Robertson forced 2 fumbles today. And the Lions took advantage every single time. And yes, Tennessee's awful. All right. God awful. Their offense, I don't know what they're doing. Their special teams, they couldn't tackle the Lions today. Their defense without L'Jarius Sneed, nothing special, certainly. But play calling, creativity, Ben Johnson with Kalif Raymond going in motion, stopping, then going back toward the sideline, a quick pass to him, nobody there. The play action passing game with the tight ends, sneaking out Brock Wright for a touchdown, sneaking out Laporta in what should have been a touchdown. The halfback pass from David Montgomery to Laporta for a touchdown. And people are going to say, well, why don't they wait and use that against Green Bay? The bag is full. They have had so many trick plays. They've had so many creative things that people worry. You should show that for a division game. Don't show your whole hand against Dallas. Don't run that trick play against Tennessee. Why not? The Lions have such a good coaching staff, and it starts with Dan Campbell and the ability for his guys to be up for this game today, not let up, finish the game, shut out the Titans in the second half, all these things. But Ben Johnson is remarkable. Aaron Glenn getting on his guys, but in a good way. When they showed on the sidelines, him getting on Kirby Joseph, making some corrections. Second half, they hold the Titans down to no points. Mason Rudolph in the second half saw a lot of different looks. First half, he was crushing the Lions. And this is Mason freaking Rudolph we're talking about here. But all in all, you're playing a bad team, and you got a big game the next week against Green Bay, and you took care of business, and you won. 6-1 for the first time since 1956. And oh, by the way, Jared Goff, first player in NFL history to throw 2 or more touchdown passes and complete at least 72% of his passes while posting a passer rating of 110 or higher in 5 consecutive games. First time that's been done in NFL history. Lions scored 50 points today in a game for the 4th time in team history. First time they did that since 1997. It was the most points they had in the first half since 1970. And now Jake Bates has made each of his first 11 field goal attempts of his career. Most consecutive field goal makes a player has had to start a Lions tenure, 11 in a row. So a lot of positives that come out of this game today, including the fact, again, that for the most part, they stayed healthy. Malcolm Rodriguez injured his ankle, and it sounds like it's not season ending, but they're going to need to get more tests on that. Jared Goff rolled his right ankle early in the game. What was happening at the start of this game today with Taylor Decker? My God. First play out of the gate, Goff back to throw, and Arden Key just goes right around Decker for a sack. It was like someone tell Taylor the game started at 1:00. Jared Goff was sacked today 4 times, still had a passer rating of 129.9, 12 out of 15 for 85 yards. If I would have told you at the start of the day, Jared Goff is only going to throw for 85 yards, would you have told me that the Lions were going to score 52 points? No way, right? Like impossible. But yet, Gibbs with a 70-yard run. Montgomery threw a touchdown pass today. Kalif Raymond, a 90-yard punt return. Have you ever seen a worse kick coverage team in your life than what you saw from Tennessee today? Khalil Dorsey had a long return. How long was Dorsey's kick return today? 72 yards. Raymond had a punt return of 90 yards, another one over 60 yards. It was fun today at Ford Field. And again, the crowd was phenomenal again as the Lions win 52-14. I want to talk a little more about Kalif Raymond and how important he is to this team. I want to get into the defense a little bit. We're going to talk about Arden Key because I don't think the Lions should let him out of the building today. Make it Ray Carthon, the GM for the Titans. If I'm Brad Holmes, I'm getting Arden Key right now. Don't even put him on the bus. Don't even put him on the plane. Keep him right here. We'll hand out game balls as well here on a Sunday edition of Locked On Lions. Lions win 52-14. Hey, did you know that today is National Tight Ends Day? I didn't hear that on the broadcast at all. Oh my God, dude. Kevin Kugler, like you're a solid play-by-play man. But if I hear it's National Tight Ends Day one more time, I'm going to throw something on my television. I swear to God, stop. Like it was cute the first time, the seventh time. No, not so much. All right. Lions win 52-14. I got that off my chest. More coming up next. Hey, this Sunday edition of Locked On Lions is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. It is that simple. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. If you're a business professional and you're not on LinkedIn, you're not posting on there, keeping people abreast of what you're doing at your office, etc., you're missing out. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. If you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to hire. Here's what I want you to do. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnfl. That's linkedin.com/lockedonnfl to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Matt Derry back with you on a Sunday edition of Locked On Lions. It's a victory for the Lions today. They've won 5 in a row. They knock out the Tennessee Titans here at Ford Field. First time Lions have ever beaten Tennessee. You realize that? Now, the Titans have only been around, 20 years or so when they moved from Houston, maybe more. Remember when the Titans went to the Super Bowl with Steve McNair and Derek Mason and those guys. But Detroit gets the win today, 52-14 over Tennessee. Jared Goff throws for 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 127 yards rushing and the score. Sam Laporta led him with 6 catches for 48 yards. How about Amon-Ra St. Brown? He caught 2 passes today for 7 yards, and the Lions scored 52 points. He had a touchdown. Brock Wright had a touchdown. It was Brocktober today. We had a Brock party at Ford Field. Laporta, Kalif, Brock Wright, Amon-Ra St. Brown scored touchdowns today. Raymond also had a punt return for a score. David Montgomery threw a touchdown and also ran for 1 as well. It was a blowout down at Ford Field. I mentioned Arden Key earlier. Major Key, DJ Khaled. Arden Key today for Tennessee. They're fine, solid edge rusher. And they've got a couple of them on that team. Arden Key, of course. We didn't really call Harold Landry's name much today. But Arden Key, and this was Tyler Rowland brought this up on the Thursday crossover, the host of Locked On Titans. He said, I don't see them trading Harold Landry, but maybe Arden Key, the big fellow from LSU. Today, 6 tackles, 3 solos, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for losses, and 3 quarterback hits. Arden Key, number 49, was everywhere today. He had a really good game. So the Lions need help at edge rusher. That's an understatement. Okay. I know they won today. I know they played well. I know they did their thing. I know it was a blowout, but they had 1 sack today. That was Alex Anzalone on a blitz. They had 5 quarterback hits, not a ton. You had quarterback hits today from James Houston. Yes, a James Houston sighting. 2 from Levi Onwuzurike, who continues to play well. Played a ton on the edge today, too. 1 from Brian Branch. I mentioned 1 before from Alex Anzalone. But guys like Pat O'Connor, Isaiah Thomas, Muhammad, Al-Qadir Muhammad, or whatever his name is, all these guys that tried, James Houston, nobody was getting home. They made Mason Rudolph in the first half look really, really good. And again, you had Calvin Ridley over 100 yards receiving in the first quarter. Next week, if Jordan Love is healthy and you're going up against Jaden Reed and Christian Watson and that group of receivers and tight ends, you're not going to be playing the Titans next week. So I'd love it if the Lions could somehow snag Arden Key away from Tennessee and just keep him in the building. He's exactly what they need. I think they need 2 edge rushers, to be honest with you. Max Crosby, Mark Davis, the Raiders owner, came out over the weekend and said he's not trading him. The Browns today got a big win over the Ravens. I'm not sure they're ready to trade Zadarius Smith or Myles Garrett or anybody like that right now. But Tennessee stinks. They're going absolutely nowhere. You know they're going to lose next week because they just played the Lions this week. They're about to be 1-7. I'd take Arden Key for a 6th-round pick or a 7th-round pick or something. Let's do that right here, right now. Lions still are not generating enough pressure. You had Muhammad off the practice squad at one of your edge spots today, and Onwuzurike was at the other one, starting the game next to Reeder and Aleem McNeil. And by the way, Aleem McNeil is just awesome. He is a really good player. And I'll tell you what, Terrion Arnold today had a good game. I thought the defense, for the most part, despite some of the Ridley stuff and how open he was early in the game, but I thought the Lions did a pretty darn good job defensively, especially in that second half. And again, 38 unanswered points after the game was 14-14. So good tune-up. Dan Campbell said after the game, this is exactly the kind of game we wanted going into Green Bay. Next week's going to be a street fight. It is. It's going to be a physical game, tough, hard-fought game. It's going to be a Colston Loveland headbutt game. All right? It's going to be a tough game. Green Bay is playing really good football. They're well coached. And somehow, some way, they've got Malik Willis playing really good football. Tennessee is so bad. They traded Malik Willis to the Packers for a 7th-round pick. And now he's in Green Bay, and he's won 3 games for them, basically, in relief of Jordan Love. We'll see how bad Love's hamstring is this week and if he can play. But regardless, Green Bay went into Jacksonville today, blew a 10-point lead, then ended up winning 30-27. But today was fun. It really was. So many short fields, so many turnovers. Again, Amik Robertson forced a pair of fumbles, which was great. And then you had the interceptions. Kirby Joseph stepped in front of a Mason Rudolph pass, read it beautifully. And then Trevor Nowaski had the pick early in the game with the pressure coming from Levi Onwuzurike. Those are the kind of advantages those are the kind of games and plays you've got to take advantage of. And oh, by the way, I mentioned Jake Bates before. How about Jack Fox flipping the field? 67-yard punt. Average today in 5 punts, 61 yards. And a huge credit to Dave Phipp and that entire special teams for the way they had set up those returns today for Kalif Raymond. But just a wild game. It's what makes the NFL so crazy that a team could throw for 85 yards, have nine net yards passing at halftime, 9 net yards passing, and lead 35-14 at the break. Then the Lions had a great third quarter. As Jeremy Reisman, our friend from Pride of Detroit, always likes to call it, the turd quarter. Not today. Lions had a 17-0 victory today in the third quarter as they had the Kalif Raymond punt return, the Raymond touchdown pass, and the Jake Bates 51-yard field goal. Why Jared Goff was still in the game in the fourth quarter, I have no idea. I would have gone to Hendon Hooker a lot earlier than that. Goff's still out there. I'm like, get him out of there. But all in all, other than the Malcolm Rodriguez injury, everybody pretty much comes out of the game unscathed. We'll see how severe this Rodriguez injury was, but he was carted off. Dan Campbell said there'll be more tests done tomorrow. He's played really well. The Lions are extremely deep at linebacker, but man, they're just losing so many guys on that defense, especially, of course, the edge rushers with no Aiden Hutchinson, who's sitting in a suite today with his leg elevated following the surgery, and loss of Davenport and Kaminsky and Barnes. And they'll get Josh Paschal back next week. He had to miss today's game due to an illness, but other than that, it was a good performance from the Lions today. They win 52-14 over the Titans. See, here's the thing. I feel like sometimes I nitpick. They just won 52-14. They just crushed a team in Tennessee by 38 points. I'm not going to nitpick. I'm going to enjoy this. But they have to play better, and they have to rush the passer better if they want to win next Sunday. All these guys they're trying out, and I get it, next man up, and we're going to see if someone steps up like a Pat O'Connor or Muhammad or Ukwu or any of these guys. They're trying everything, but they've got to go out and get an established guy or two to do the best they can to replace that entire group. It's not just about replacing Aiden Hutchinson. You're not going to replace Hutch unless you get Crosby or Garrett. I don't think you're getting either one. But if you can get Arden Key and Aziz Ojulari or something like that, or a combo of guys, look, maybe call the Jets and their GM, Joe Douglas, because that team's tanking. They lost to the Patriots today. All right, let's hand out some game balls. We will do that coming up next. By the way, shout out to our everydayers who either watch or listen to the pod daily. That includes Dan and Jenna Zach. You have the Zachs they represented today down at Ford Field. They were down there cheering on their Leos. So just a couple of our everydayers that are out there. Appreciate all of you. I really do. Thank you very much. Turner Batdorf, I know you're down there in Houston, brother. You'll be going to that Lions-Texans game. Nate Litke hit me up on text. The usual suspects. Appreciate all of you. Our Harbor Springs insider, JW, I know you're out there as well. All right, let's do this. We're going to hand out some game balls. We're going to do that coming up next, right here on Locked On Lions. Our program today brought to you by our friends at Gametime, looking for tickets for the Lions and Packers. Maybe you're going to head up to Lambeau Field. Maybe you want to see the Lions and Jags in a few weeks or get tickets for the Thanksgiving Day game. All you got to do is download the Gametime app, all right? Gametime has a new feature called Gametime Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. LeBron and the Lakers, by the way, are coming in November 4th in a few weeks. I'm actually going to that game when the Pistons play the Lakers. Get the tickets at Gametime. Gametime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They also got that view from your seat. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee as well, or Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime Picks. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? It's game time. Lions victorious today. They beat the Tennessee Titans. They've won 5 straight, 52-14. Next week, Lions at the Packers, 4:25 on Fox. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi. I love today how Kevin Kugler, I don't mean to pick on the broadcast more, but Kevin Kugler and Daryl Johnston, they're like, do you think the Lions are going to make a move? It's like, oh, yeah, guys. This team is the best team in the NFC. Brad Holmes is not going to not make a move. Of course he's going to make a move. Are you watching the game? Mason Rudolph is sitting there with all day to throw. Geez, Moose, think they're going to make a move? Golly gee, Kevin, I don't know. They're going to trade for an edge rusher. Come on, get with it. One other thing while I'm on this soapbox. Radio shows, day of a game on a Sunday when I'm driving around to go get lunch for my wife and I, don't do picks. Don't. Who do you like? Jets or Patriots and the points? Like, no one can. I want to hear Lions content on the day of a game. I don't care what the board op thinks between the Browns and Ravens. Sorry. Please don't do that again. Thank you. Okay. Game balls. Lions win 52-14. First game ball goes to special teams coach Dave Phipp. All right, this is a no-brainer. Think about the day that the Lions had in special teams. 2 long punt returns by Kalif Raymond, who had 190 yards in punt returns today. You had a Khalil Dorsey 72-yard kickoff return that set up a touchdown. You had Jake Bates hitting a 51-yard field goal and all 7 of his extra points. And you had Jack Fox punting at a 61-yard average, including a 67-yarder with 3 downed inside the 20-yard line. All right, that's how it's done today. The Titans had 1 kick return by Jarquan Jackson that only went 29 yards. Dave Phipp, shout out to you. What a day for you and your special teams. Also, getting a game ball today, Kalif Raymond. Dan Campbell loves this guy. going against his former team, the Titans. A 90-yard punt return for a touchdown. Another long return that set up a touchdown. A touchdown catch today as Kalif Raymond caught two balls for 14 yards, including a 7-yard touchdown. What a day for Leaf. He gets a game ball today as the Lions win and win big. Jahmyr Gibbs, man, just when the Lions needed it after the Titans tied the game 7-7, Gibbs runs off a left end, burst of speed, gone. Great blocking, terrible angle by Quandre Diggs, our buddy. And Gibbs goes 70 yards for a touchdown, rush for 127, averaged 11.5 a carry. We'll take that. Also, Jahmyr Gibbs today caught a pass for 6 yards. He gets a game ball for his performance today. Why not? Got to give Jahmyr Gibbs a game ball. Jack Campbell had a good game. 11 tackles, 6 solos. Love the way he played today. I just thought he was kind of sideline to sideline, kind of all over the field. I think Jack Campbell deserves a game ball for his performance today. And like I said before, I thought Terrion Arnold played well. Nice pass breakup on a third down play when they're going to Ridley on a quick out and kind of a return route. And Arnold came back and broke that play up. 7 solo tackles for Terrion Arnold as well. He gets a game ball today. And this fan base, man, deserves a game ball. They were playing a bad Titans team. That place was still loud. It still rocks, no matter who's in. And you know that when the Packers come in, or the Bears, Vikings later in the year, the Monday night game when Seattle was here, you know, the Thursday nighter against the Packers is going to be crazy. But even today, I was just watching on TV. You the fans are just amazing. Amazing. And deserve a game ball for everything. And I appreciate your viewership and listenership as well, as our audience continues to grow here on Locked On Lions. All right, busy week. Yes, Detroit's most hated man, Peter Bukowski, will join us for the Thursday crossover for Lions and Packers. Working on some other guests for this week as well. Thank you for making us your first listen. Checking us out wherever you get your podcast. Lions win 52-14. Next up, the 6-2 Packers at Lambeau on Thursday. Have a great rest of the weekend.